And I was completely convinced that in this position, because again, I don't have this bar. You do. I didn't. So I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering during the game, like, where's the win? Because it just looks like there's no way through. It looks like any of these pawns that go forward will be taken. There is no way for this king to get anywhere. It has no access to any part of the position. But that's the thing. There actually is access. There actually is access because there is this constant looming threat in the position for white. It's very mysterious, but Taya again showing the conversion technique of the Soviet school of chess. There is a threat in this position. If black does absolutely nothing, the threat is actually to take this pawn. It doesn't look like it's even possible. But if you take this pawn, of course you win the game because you're going to break through. But if this, one of these pawns sacrifices itself and the other promotes, the bishop can't stop both of them. So with bishop takes d5 being the constant threat of the position, it makes sense that black would play d4 and d3 and try to promote. But that allows my bishop into the position. And since it allows the bishop into the position, it means that I will go target this pawn, which means that these two will simplify into one, which means the white king will be free. Look, the white king will gain access to this side of the board. You will simply create constant threats against these two pawns. One of them will need to push forward, and then you will lose the game. Look, bishop f7. I'm trying to go bishop g6. If you give me a check, right, I will just move out of the way. I'll just move out of the way. It doesn't really matter. I'll just get out of the way. You're not going to be able to constantly stay here. That's the point. You won't be able to stay there. For instance, we can return on the analysis. Pawn to d3, king to d2, bishop a5 check, king e3, bishop d6 check. I win the pawn. My bishop is always just in time. It's always just in time. Now, let's pay attention one more time. Bishop f7, bishop a7, h3, right? We just wait, we wait, king c7, bishop g5. Now we force the pawn forward. And that little move grants me passage to the pawn. We now have bishop c4 from side, bishop d6, king d3, king e4. The king is going for it. The bishop comes back to e2. I don't think some of these moves are necessary. You're just kind of shuffling around. But now, king f3. And the game is over. The game is over, because it looked like this entire time we would not be able to move this blob of pawns, but they are so perfectly positioned that they freeze the bishop and the king. Neither the king nor the bishop can move, because the second they move, we're going to sacrifice one of our pawns. King d6, king g4, bishop e7, c7. King takes a7, king d7, b6, and the game is over. Because now you defend yourself, you can't take because